South America has always seemed like an old car lover's paradise, where 1950s Chevrolets shared the road with microcars, and a dusty woody wagon might pass a Willys Jeep on a mountain track. I used to dream about finding a forgotten classic in some Andean village. Now that I live here, it's time to look closer at the weird, wonderful, and wildly creative car world that grew far from its parents in Detroit or Stuttgart. This is the untold story of South American cars. Cars arrived in South America almost as soon as they did in Europe or North America. Wealthy landowners and officials imported them to show off their success. Fragile, expensive toys on roads better suited for horses. Fuel was scarce, parts took months to arrive, and repairs were improvised. But the fascination never faded. By the 1920s, foreign automakers saw potential. Vast new markets, fresh labor, and governments eager to industrialize. High import tariffs made it costly to bring in complete cars, and with limited foreign currency, few buyers could afford to pay in US dollars. So Ford and GM began shipping knockdown kits, cars in pieces, assembled locally. In Sao Paulo, Ford built its first Model T in 1921. By 1925, Buenos Aires was assembling Fords and Chevrolets for Argentina's growing middle class. After World War II, industrialization became a national priority. In 1956, Brazil's president launched the Target Plan, a massive push to build cars at home. Volkswagen, Ford, Simca, and GM raced to open plants. Argentina followed suit, launching its own half-homegrown brands like IKA, Industrias, Chrysler, Argentina. Soon, South America wasn't just assembling cars, it was building its own. By the 1960s, locally tailored models took shape. Cars tough enough for bad fuel, rough roads, and long distances. Argentina had the Ford Falcon, a symbol of endurance. Brazil had the Chevrolet Opala, part Opel, part Impala, and pure Brazilian charm. Even the humble Jeep wagon found new life as Willys Overland do Brasil turned it into an icon of the countryside. Cars quickly became more than transport. They were identity. For the new middle class, owning a locally built car was a badge of pride. Proof their country could match the world's best. In rural areas, Willys Jeeps and Ford pickups connected farms and villages. In the cities, old sedans lived second lives as taxis, serving long after their counterparts elsewhere in the world had been crushed. The oil crisis of 1973 pushed Brazil toward ethanol fuel, made from sugarcane. Car makers adapted fast. Ford even sold alcohol-powered Mavericks. Political turbulence followed, but so did creativity. Ford and Volkswagen joined forces under Auto Latina, swapping badges between models, a marketing oddity that produced some of the rarest combinations ever built. Meanwhile, tiny homegrown brands like Gurgle and Grummet proved that ingenuity could outdo scale, even if only briefly. By the 1980s, South America wasn't just building for itself. Brazil and Argentina exported cars and trucks across the continent, to Uruguay, Chile, Peru, and beyond. Factories spawned steel mills, tire plants, and tool suppliers. An entire industrial ecosystem grew around the automobile. When economic crises hit in the 1980s, exports kept many factories alive. By the 1990s, free trade agreements reshaped the market. Global models replaced regional oddities. The same Fords, Chevrolets, and Toyotas, sold everywhere, now rolled off South American lines. But something was lost: the uniquely South American personality of its cars. GM, Volkswagen, and others continue, while Ford shut its last Brazilian plants in 2021. Today, only Argentina's Ford Ranger carries the torch. Yet across the continent, these machines still live, in parades, workshops, and backyards. Cars that tell a story of ambition, resilience, and creativity in a place once thought too wild for wheels. This is just the beginning of our series on South America's automotive past. Next time we'll go deeper, from Ford's jungle experiments to the cars that carried presidents, and perhaps a few that carried something else. Because our next episode, hearses and ambulances.